Wow, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy. Yes, sir, I'm back. Hey, what's going on, family? How you doing? For those that's just logging in for the very first time, welcome to Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. I am your boy, Stanley Doucette, and I am thrilled to be with you guys today. Listen, we're going to have an exceptional show. We're going to have a lot of fun. I am absolutely thrilled about actually sharing this information with you on today. To all of my people that's logging in for the first time, or for those that have came back on multiple times and continue to listen to us, thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not be doing this without you. Thank you so much for coming back. I do not take your time to listen to what we are sharing for granted. You mean the world to me. You're doing so many different things to help me grow myself. You're consistently asking me from different content, from different guests, to different people to come on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am thrilled to be doing this. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm on, as some people say, I'm on tiptoe anticipation, waiting to just deliver just what we're going to talk about today. So for everybody that's logging in now, what if you're in Bali? Hello to all of my people in Bali. If you're in the, I don't know, somewhere in Europe, hello to all of my people in Europe. That includes France and Germany and United Kingdom and so on and so forth. If you're in Mexico, I say hello to my friends in Mexico. If you're in the Far East, let's say you're in China, hello to all my friends in China. If wherever you are, I say hello. I don't know if you're in, morning, noon, or night. If you're in the Philippines, it may be night there or middle of the morning. So I don't know where you are, but I just want to say hi. One of those times I think I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say, well, sometimes you just get and you start talking, and all you really want to do is just sit down and fellowship. You just want to sit down and network with some people, get maybe some chicken or some food, for vegans or vegetarians. You maybe get a salad, and you just kind of just sit, talk, and just have an experience with that individual in the most powerful way. So we do all of those things, and I'm just talking now, and I'm just like, man, this sounds good. Maybe we should do this, or maybe we should take it on the road and go to a different location. We already did that. So we're having a lot of fun. I just want to shout out to all of my people everywhere from North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, wherever you are. I just want to shout you out and say hello to my folks in New Orleans. Wow, what's happening? What's happening with you? I love my people in New Orleans. I love them. There is no better hospitality, in my opinion, in anywhere in the world than the hospitality have in New Orleans. Listen, what's good? Still in crawfish season, so I'll be down there. And well, I ain't gonna tell y'all when I'm coming, but I'm coming to get some crawfish. Coming soon too, as I say, coming soon to a theater near you. I also want to take a moment. This is serious now. I've been playing a lot. I want to take a moment to say, make sure you love and love on your loved ones while they're still with you. I've been experiencing an abnormal amount of people passing away, dying, going on to glory. I've been experiencing that a little bit more than normal. So I want to just say, take some time, like you say on the view, take some time to enjoy the view, but not to enjoy the view, but take some time to love on your people, love on your moms, your dads, your aunts, your uncles, all of your loved ones. Just take some time to actually love on them and to say hello and shout them out, right? Give them some love. It is going to do, matter of fact, give you guys some homework right now. This is just some simple homework. Whoever the first person is that popped into your mind when I said that, pick up the phone and call them right after the show. Just pick up the phone and call them. You're not calling for nothing. Just call and say, hey, he was on my mind. I just wanted to check on you. So go ahead and do that, right? And that way it'll make them feel wonderful. I'm telling you, it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conversation when you're not calling that you want something from somebody. So we're excited about that. Now, let me do these commercials. Please, everybody, go to all of the social media platforms that we have the opportunity to have a page on, from Facebook to LinkedIn to Twitter to Instagram. I may be missing something, but of course, as well as my YouTube channel. YouTube has been picking up a little bit. I'm excited about that. It's been picking up. Look, yeah. So it's been picking up a little bit. So I'm kind of excited about that. But I just wanted to shout everybody out and just ask them, to go to all the platforms. And if you feel it in your heart to join, like, subscribe, share, forward, whatever it is, please do so. I'm especially asking, not on top of just a normal, but also going to YouTube and doing the same thing under Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. Make sure you put the apostrophe in for YouTube on Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. When you're doing those things, it just helps. You get a chance also on YouTube to see me live, to see video, and to see my crazy faces, to see all kind of things I do doing podcasts. So yes, if you would do me that favor, it would be great. I would love you guys and still love you anyway for you guys doing that for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am totally, totally appreciative of it. And I'm grateful for your time. I really am. Now, all of the commercials are out the way. It's going to be a short podcast, but I think it is absolutely powerful. I just want to talk and share the diamond process, right? It came to me when I was doing an event, and I started thinking about so much time a lot of leaders around the world put into things. And sometimes it feels like it's just unbearable, right? It's so much preparation you put in for maybe a 2-hour event or a day event, and you put in months upon months upon months. I think about Beyonce, one of her mini series shares something about, I think they practiced for like 6 months or 8 months just to do a 3-day performance. Just this is mind-boggling, right? 6 to 8 months, maybe even a year, just to do a 3-day show or a 2-day show. That is incredible. That is an incredible amount of time to do something for, say, 2 hours, and let's say you do it for 3 hours each day. That's only 6 hours, and you practice for 8 months to a year, putting the show together and performing to make sure the platform is all there. That is incredible, right? Let me give you something else though. A lot of times I hear people saying that they believe they're chosen, that they believe they're a special person or a special individual, or God has called them and they want to do something powerful. And I agree with them. I don't know, I wasn't in the conversation, so I'll just say, okay, I agree with you. However, most people don't want to go through the process. They don't want to go through the process. What most people want to do is go from you've been chosen, or you've been called, or you are the one, or whatever adjectives you want to use, right? You get that message and you want to skip over everything else and get to the end when you're sitting on your throne. No, ma'am, no, sir. It does not work that way. I promise you, if it worked that way, a lot of people have so much more excitement in their life and be like, oh my God, I'm done. You have to go through the process. So just like a diamond start in the ground all the way until it's polished, all the way until it's clean, right? There's a process that the diamond goes through. Consider yourself a diamond today. Yep. I know a lot of women like diamonds and a lot of guys like to purchase diamonds for their lady. And that's great. But now let's take it and how I get to that nice, shiny, sparkly diamond, whether it's around your neck, on your finger, on your arm, on your watch, or whatever it may be. How do we get to that? And there are some parallels I firmly believe inside of that that will help us take that next step in understanding where we are. So it's some simple things that I want to draw parallel to it because I think it's going to help you and encourage you and empower you to keep moving forward towards your calling, especially if you're saying you're called to do something or you're chosen to do something or you are one of the chosen people. Yes, keep pushing that forward and doing and believing and understanding and knowing. That's great. But there's a process in there to, as my mentor have been saying lately, to grow your capacity so you can sit on the throne. Just because you're called, it doesn't mean you're going to get your crown because that crown is heavy. The weight of the crown is heavy. So you can be crushed under your own blessing. You can be crushed under your own promise. But as we understand, the Creator says he will not put more on you than you can bear. So that even means great things. That even means powerful things, right? So we have to grow our capacity. So I believe firmly that the diamond process teaches us a lot about our own process, right? So let's look at it. So number one, the first thing is blast, right? And even if you go back before you talk about doing a blast, let's map out where we are going. because everybody in every situation, in every I don't want to say puddle of people, every group of individuals, they don't have somebody in that group that's called. They may think they are, but they don't really have somebody in that group that's called. Sorry, y'all. I'm just gonna give it to you raw. All right. So let's look at that. So now we've found a location. So the first thing we're doing is the blast. We're blasting things out. We're blasting all the way down to the depths of the earth. We are blasting it. We're getting all the way down to the depths of something. You know, a lot of times we're called, but sometimes we've been covered in so many things that we forget that we are a diamond. So we're down deep, deep in the earth. And you look at, just pull up some of the maps where you look at some of the diamond mines and how it just go round and round and round and it go deep, 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 deep. It's going deep and deeper and deeper into the earth, right? And so once they do all that, now you're talking about we found the location and now we're creating a blast. Now you're putting all of these TNT or dynamite in there and you create this big blast. And once you create the blast, boom, you got all of this rocks and all kind of stuff falling everywhere, right? You got all of the ores of diamond just everywhere, right? What about your life? When you get blasted, when God decides to tap you and you get blasted out of the depths of all of the stuff that have been put on top of you, now you're just everywhere, right? You just have things all over. So the first part, when you're blasted, understand you're tapped. Don't think, oh, I was tapped, so I'm gonna jump from one to the other. No, you are blasted for a reason. You are absolutely blasted for a reason. You had to be broken away from some of the steels that are keeping you down or holding you back. You had to be broken from that, right? So we used one of the most powerful explosives and you exploded. You just literally was moved away from that. That's a great thing. The second part of that, or number two, well, then now you have all of this rocks and all of yourself everywhere, right? So we scooping you up and putting you on these big old earth movers. Great. What's the next thing? Oh, the next thing is real nice. Y'all gonna like this one. Number two is really, really sweet. It's crushing. So now they didn't pick all of the diamonds, all of the ore, excuse me, up, and they put it on the earth movers and they move it into a different process. So the next thing is to be crushed. Let me ask you guys a question. How many times have you been crushed in your life? A lot of times I like to talk about crushing, and I use the olive and how the olive have to be crushed to get the oil out, or the olive have to be crushed to get the anointing out. How many times have you had to be crushed, broken, to literally get your goodness out, your greatness out? You know, a lot of times people don't want to believe that. But sometimes you have to go through to humble yourself, to be crushed so your oil can come out, so your anointing can come out, so your greatness can come out, right? So now you take all of the ores, all of the diamond ores. Now you moved into the place where it's crushing things. It's crushing, it's crushing, it's crushing. How many people lives right now, you feel like you're being crushed under the weight of all kind of stuff, but you're absolutely being crushed. But you know your call is to be that selected one, that chosen one, that special one. But you're going through a crushing and it don't feel like I'm the special one because of all of the crushing that I'm going through. The crushing is just to begin to break down all of the other stuff, the big stuff, as I call it, away from some of the diamond ores. Just kind of get it away and kind of break it down into even smaller sizes. Because the first blast, big chunks, boulders, big old things of the diamond ore. And now you're being crushed. So now it's crushing it into smaller sizes. And it's like, wow, now you're crushed into a smaller size. You don't feel good. Remember, we're trying to get to the polished diamond, right? You don't feel good, but you've been crushed. You're literally been crushed to get your anointing out, to get your blessings to other people. Sometimes you have to be crushed in order for you to spill out the things that's inside of you, because a lot of times we're not obedient. Let's be honest, we're not obedient. We're absolutely not obedient. But sometimes that crushing will force you into obedience, to allow that to come out, because now you have the opportunity to touch other individuals. All right. So now we've been blasted. we've been crushed. So the next thing is the wonderful work of scrubbing. You just scrub. I mean, you can't see it. YouTube people, y'all see me, but it's like you're scrubbing yourself. You're scrubbing yourself. You're getting some excess stuff off, and you're starting to get closer and closer to that actually polished diamond. But you're being scrubbed, right? Now you're being scrubbed, or maybe your thought process is being scrubbed from taking away from some of the foolishness that you may have learned when you were growing up. And it's like, no, that's not even right. Right? You're being your mind is being scrubbed, your thought process is being scrubbed, your body is being scrubbed, your mentality is being scrubbed, your thoughts are being scrubbed, your aura is being scrubbed, your energy is being scrubbed, your heart is being scrubbed, your soul is being scrubbed, your spirit is being scrubbed. See, now you're being scrubbed to get closer and closer to that polished diamond. You're getting closer and closer to you being who you are. You're getting closer and closer to you being the one. You're getting closer and closer to you being the chosen person, the chosen individual, the chosen family member to break generational curses. You are the one that's getting closer and closer to being scrubbed and polished and pretty. When a diamond going through all this is being scrubbed, it's not an easy process. When you start, when your mentor, your mentee, or your teacher, somebody began to share something new with you, and you've been thinking this your whole life, and then they share with you that's not accurate, because they're scrubbing your thoughts and making sure you're on the proper path with your thoughts. This is so good. It's like when you scrub, it is bringing things closer to its purity. Yeah. So now that we're in that space, you're like, I'm scrubbed, man. I'm scrubbed. You know, you take a shower. Or some of y'all take a shower. And I'm not gonna get to that. So you're taking a shower, right? And you're not just taking the soap and put it under your arm and then get out the shower. You know, some people take the lather up their towel really well. I mean, lather it up, lather, right? And then they get to scrubbing their face and their neck and their arms and their chest and, so on and so forth, making sure that they're getting all of the excess dirt off, all of the excess dead skin, just really scrubbing and getting. Some people even do body scrubs. Some people even do facials and facial scrubs and all of those things, just scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. All right. Now we have scrubbed ourselves. We didn't got blasted. We didn't got crushed. Now we've scrubbed ourselves. Now we can get out the shower, rinse off, dry off, and we're in that place. Here is the part where I think a lot of people, in my opinion, not just don't like, but don't keep in the forefront of your mind. And that is separation. So we got scrubbed and all that stuff, and we thinking, okay, great, we're going to the jewelry store and we're going to be good. No, it's a process of separation, because you still have some impurities on you. The diamonds still have some impurities on you. So what it does, it puts a solution together, and all of the heavy stuff began to fall off. Even some of the other stuff you couldn't get through scrubbing, you couldn't get through crushing, you couldn't get through the blast, but the separation and put you in this solution, and it begins to separate things that couldn't get separated the other physical ways. So now you have this you have this solution that now pushing other stuff off of you, right? Here's the thing. When God separates you from your crowd or your old crowd, right? And you feel the hurt. I mean, let's be honest. You feel hurt because some people, you want them to come sit on the throne with you, or at least be in the house with you, right? But if they don't have the capacity, they cannot sit in the room, the house, or anywhere with you, because they don't have the capacity. Remember, God said he will not put on you more than you can bear. But what happens is a lot of times we're trying to carry that or carry those individuals with us. And we can't, because now it's a period of separation. And listen, sometimes that separation is brutal. I know you guys, y'all don't go through things like that, so I get it. But I'm saying for those that some of us that have went through the separation period, and you're separating yourself from people, you're separating yourself from activities, you're separating yourself from things, you're just separating. Things how you used to do, you see it differently now. You've grown beyond that. Your capacity have increased and you've grown beyond that. So now you're talking about, I don't know if I necessarily want to go to X, Y, and Z. I don't know if I necessarily want to do this, that, or thus, because I'm separated. I'm growing and I'm getting bigger, better, faster, stronger, all in separation. But here's the thing, it doesn't always feel good, because there are some people or some things that you're being separated from. If the truth be told, you actually really liked it. Yeah, you really like being with that individual or with that person or with that group or with that thing, or been doing this thing for so long, you actually thought it was part of you. So you carried that thing with you all the time, not knowing that that should have been separated, because they or it or she or him can't come with you. They can't, that process can't come with you. That thought process can't come with you. That mentality can't come with you. So when you're being separated, because remember, we're talking about you being the chosen one. You're being the chosen group. You're being the one that's going to interrupt the generational curses in your bloodline. You're that one. You're the one that people are thinking of and wondering and hoping and praying for. But now you're being separated and you're hurt because you wanted Jan Jan to come with you. Jan Jan or Jim Jim can't come because it's not for them. It's for you. So the separation sometimes gets hard, it gets heavy, because you want to carry them to the finish line with you. And guess what? They can't come. See, a lot of times we've gotten so comfortable with carrying things that can't come with us that we think is a part of us. And then when God begins to separate that thing from you, then all of a sudden you feel that separation, and it hurts sometimes, but it's all for your good. It's all for your good. I remember I was in the police department. I was, my former life, as I like to say, and I was chasing a criminal, right? And we running literally, and shout out to all my people in New Orleans. Y'all know where this is. I was close to the Superdome. I was on Poydras Street. I forgot. I think it's the 1500 block of Poydras Street. I'm chasing this fool. I'm chasing. We in and out of traffic, right? Caught him. We both fall to the ground, tussle, put some handcuffs on him, and okay, chase over. Now get the stolen goods, go into the car. I noticed my hand was bleeding, right? And if y'all listening at YouTube, if y'all looking at YouTube, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. So, go to the car and my hand bleeding. So now I'm writing a report, gotta do all this stuff, and then take him to lockup, right? And then I noticed my hand was bleeding. So, normal, put some peroxide on it, do all that stuff, put a Band-Aid on it, keep on working. Okay, that was fine. Well, going a little bit further than that, a couple of days, I noticed it started to, swell up, started to get some pus in it. And it started to get, so I'm thinking, it started to get a little bit more pus. I'm like, I got to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, right? Tuesday and Thursday, I forgot what the technical name, but going to will call, I think it was called. What? Guess what? It had swollen and it had pus all around it. If you guys, let me see. Y'all see that little mark right there? If y'all looking at YouTube, you can see it. So you need to go to YouTube and check the box and say, yep, I'm a follow Stanley. Let's talk with Stanley. Y'all see that right there? Y'all see, yeah, right there, right? Now we did that. So now I go to the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh, let me see it. Oh, okay, no big deal, right? He said, well, I need to separate the scar at the top and then dig down in there to make sure they don't have anything, so I can separate all of the bad stuff and then put some good stuff in it, right? So he numbed it and cut, got a scalpel and cut it out. And I know it sounds worse than what it is. It didn't hurt at all. And now he got all of the bad stuff out. I mean, all of the pus and everything running out, right? And all he kept doing was separating the bad stuff from the good stuff, separating the bad stuff from the good stuff. A lot of times in our life, we want to hold on to things we think are good, but it's not actually good. It's not good for us. It's not, because they don't have the capacity to go with us. So it literally separated all of the bad stuff. Sometimes in our life, when God begins to call us to a different place, a different level, a different dimension, a different realm, and you're going higher, higher, and higher, a lot of times people you want to come with you, you can't. A lot of activities we used to do, we can't do them anymore. How many people remember we used to shut the club down? Or sometimes we used to say, just beat the sun, right? We've been in the club so long, the sun coming up. So we just go to breakfast. Hey, well, sun up, might as well go to breakfast, right? I mean, we've done some crazy. Well, now it's like, man, I'm not staying up to beat the sun or no, that's crazy, right? Go home. I need to go to sleep. I'm tired. So all of those things, we don't do those things anymore because we've separated ourselves as elevation. So, and separation, and I know I've been saying a lot of times on separation because I think it's critical. I think a lot of times we waste time, but we stay stagnant because we're separated from I don't know, Johnny, and we've been having Johnny as our best friend for 45 years. And now God has called you to a higher place. Johnny can't come. You still trying to bring Johnny with you. He can't come. Don't worry. If he build his capacity, he grow, God may grant him that permission to actually rise with you, right? So that's separation. So we done been blasted, we done been crushed, we done been scrubbed. Now we've been separated. Now the next thing is the recovery. Recovery. There's a process where you go through a recovery. There's a recovery plan to where the diamonds are put into a certain place and they begin to just literally extract, I would call it, or recover the diamond, right? Kind of get some more stuff off and all of those other things. When our Creator, when God begins to recover you and begin to put you in a space to where he has now wrapped his arms around you, he is now pulling you close. You are no longer on the backside of the mountain going through your process. He is now pulling you close because now it's time to have you recovered. And now he's recovering you and he's cleaning you and he's knocking some more dust off and all of the other stuff is just falling off of you and falling off of you. Now you can see more of your diamond. You can see more of your greatness and your oil and your power coming out. You can see more of who you are because that diamond now is starting to protrude out. You're starting to see it, right? You're starting to say, man, I didn't want to go through all of this, but boy, I'm so happy that I did because now where I am, I can see the finish line. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So as I'm going through this process, now I got a little bit more step in my step because God has wrapped his hands around you to recover you. Yeah, you done been through your mind scrubbing and your thoughts and separation, and you've been crushed and black, all of those things. But now you're at that person where he's recovered you. And now you're starting to have that capacity to understand exactly why he did what he did. He now understands why little Johnny can't be your boy after 45 years, because you understand where we are with little Johnny. If we would have stood there, we would have never taken that next step. His thought process couldn't get there, or let's say little Johnny or little Jane, right? So now that we have been recovered, the last piece of it is simple. The cleaning part. That's why you're being polished and clean. You know, you being clean. God is cleaning you up. Now you see the sunshine, and it's remarkable because you're being clean and being packaged so he can send you where he wants to send you to be in your greatness. He's cleaning you and packaging you so when he sends you to your throne and you're seated at your throne, now you're able to do his work. But guess what? You're not bragging. You're not boastful. You're not saying, look at me, look at me. You're not doing any of those things because look, I've been blasted. First of all, I've been in the dirt, the mud, the depths of the earth. I've been blasted out. I've been crushed. I've been scrubbed. I've been separated. Finally, I got recovered. And now he has cleaned me and packaged me to send me where I need to be, that I can begin to live in the fullness of him and begin to work in his army and do the things that he wants us to do. Because remember, you say you are that person in your family that is going to crush the generational curses. Well, you had to go through all of that stuff as well so you can handle the weight of the crown. The crown is already done. The crown has already been paid for. It is just now time for you to go get your crown. It's time for you now to go get yours, but you have to do it in the certain process. And I think the diamond process is so remarkable that we are now able to get all of what we need. Family, I'm loving this because when your creator moves you into place, and he sits you on your throne, there's unlimited amount of blessings that's going to come your way, but you have to be ready to handle all of those blessings. You have to be ready to walk in your throne. You have to be ready to handle the weight of your crown. And now that you've been through this process, you're now able to handle the weight of your throne, of your crown, who you are, walking in your fullness and in your authority. You are that one. You now finally are in a place to where God is calling you his name, not what you named yourself, but his name, whatever that may be, but he's calling you his name. Family, I really hope this helps somebody, because a lot of times we go through things we just don't even want to talk about it. Sometimes we're being crushed, we don't want to talk about it. Or being separated, we don't want to talk about it. Scrub, we don't want to talk about those things. But now when you get to the other side, you're like, I am so glad I went through. Do you guys realize that you call yourself a select person or a chosen person, or you're the one, or whatever the adjective is that you're calling yourself as, and you're saying, this is who I am? A lot of people don't even take up the call. So first, I want to applaud you for taking up the call and going through the process. No, it's not easy. No, it's not easy at all. But now that you're going through the call, now that you're going through the process, you're going to be successful. You're going to be highly, highly successful. Take my word and walk in your victory. All right. So listen, family, I will see you guys next week on Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. I absolutely love doing podcasts with you guys. Remember, go to all of our social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. I may be missing one of them. And of course, YouTube. Y'all will be able to see my little scar and everything. So go to YouTube, shout out everybody. Also, support me on Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. Again, subscribe, share, like, forward, any of those things. And even if you feel it on your heart that you want to donate, just go donate. Go to Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. That's LETS. Go to Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. There's a donation button on the website. Donate. If it's 45 cents, thank you. If it's $1, thank you. If it's $100,000, thank you. Doesn't matter what it is. I just appreciate it. It helps me continue to build the platform, continue to help bring on other guests and other special things that we're going to do. So I love you guys. Thank God for you. Continue doing what you're doing. Continue being that chosen vessel. Continue being the one. Continue being the one that's going to interrupt the bloodline to allow all of the blessings to continue to flow to you. So until next week, I will see you guys on the beaches of the world. God bless, and we will see you on the beach. Peace, and we out.